Hi there. It's funny, I've had quite a few people write to me over the last little bit and inquire how I'm doing with all that's been going on in life. Life has been lifing, and there's been a lot that has been going on. And some of you very sweet souls out there have just reached out to see how all this is processing for me internally and externally. Um, Lost mom and grandmom within 3 weeks of each other, and pretty profound effect that happens in a human way when transition happens. And even though there's a knowing that there is no death, there is this just this thing that the feelings and the emotions do. Grief happens, and processing happens, and emotions happen. And what has been profoundly helpful in this experience, for me at least, is just a pure allowance of what is here. It is absolute allowance of what is showing up. If the emotion of the day is sadness, then that's allowed. And because it is allowed, it lets go of me pretty immediately. It's incredible. I just feel humbled and grateful for how this is going. There's this connection now with both my mom and grandmom that I could probably never have had here in the way that I'm having now. It's beautiful and freeing, and just a pure acceptance of this. I was very close with my grandmother and not so close with my mom. And to lose grandma first, and then to lose mom secondly, and they weren't they weren't mom and daughter. It was my dad's mom that went, and then 3 weeks later my mother. Just really interesting how it all kind of blended together, even though they were completely separate experiences and two separate people. What the mind does with all of that is it wants to lump it into one big category of grief. And the reality is that they're unique and separate in the story. Even though nothing is separate, there is a uniqueness and a separation in the way that this is processed. Many of you have written to me saying that there is a longing and a missing of someone that you've lost in the physical, and that they've transitioned, and that there's this desire to connect with them in some way, to give you an affirmation that they're still around and that they're okay. I can only tell you for myself that that is very much the truth. There is no end to this. It's just a complete return to all that we are, this beautiful blending back into, or melting back into, the nothingness and the everythingness, and yet there's still this pure and unique characteristic about that individual. I find that their humor is still the same, and their way of joking and being jovial is still very much what it would have been when they were here. That element of them is still very true in the non-physical. They're funny. They're characters just like they were here, and that doesn't change. So for me, grandma still very much does the things that grandma would have done, and mom too. There's no the ego is gone for them, and there's just this beautiful divine connection, and it's so profound and welcoming, and comforting, if you will. I truly feel that they have comforted me through this human stuff, and propelled me in a letting go, or a shedding is happening to any residual stuff that was holding on. And I know those are stories, and that's okay. They're beautiful, and they're allowed to be here just as they are. The feelings arise, the thoughts arise, the things happen, life happens, things are going on, things are not going on. It's all just doing what it's doing. And it's all allowed, it's all welcome. There's no push or pull in this. I say that often. It's hard to explain. It's like energy is here. The energy of this is here. There's no pushing on it or pulling on it. It's just a pure acceptance of how it's showing up. Yeah. Tranquil and peaceful and loving and welcoming. Just as it is. So I hope you guys are well. There haven't been many videos coming forward or moving through, and that's okay too. I've had a little bit of an eye infection going on in both of my eyes. I don't know if you can tell. At first I thought it was pink eye because my son had gotten pink eye recently, but the pink eye drops and medications didn't work. I did an abstinence from any eye makeup for 10 days and used special drops, and that didn't work either. So it's back to the eye doctor on Monday. But just wanted to let you guys know that there's a lot of love coming here from me to you, to each of you in your own intricate stories of sharing and beingness. A pure allowance of how you guys are showing up in my experience, whatever your feelings or feedback are on the videos, it's all equally and openly welcomed and loved and received only in that way. As I said before, I do try to get back to people as quickly as I can, but there is a little bit of a delay sometimes because there's a lot going on in life. There is still these increments of this beautiful void that happen in between life being life, and those are gifts that I'm just allowing myself to be immersed into when they arise. They're beautiful and they're unplanned and they're unattempted, if you will. So the radio show continues on Fridays. I'll put the details in here again. I'll also put the link to past recordings so you guys can follow those. I am going to start doing some interviews of people who want to share their journeys and their own experiences, so that's going to be coming up. Monday, May 7th, I'm going to be interviewed by a gentleman by the name of Rudy Rudensky, who's also had a near-death experience, so I'll put the details in the video for that as well. That's on a different radio show. So these things are happening, and since they're showing up, there's just an openness for that as well. Again, no pushing and pulling. It's just doing what it's doing. It's beautiful, and all of it is completely welcome. I adore you guys. I really do, and I hope you're all well, and I send you all a big hug and much love. Until next time.